Hello Shaggers, welcome back to IRL. This is Tier 1 and we're back in Baku. I'm your commentator back from yesterday, less waffly this time, the man himself, GoldenSniper. So it's going to be, if anything was like yesterday's Tier 2 race, it's going to be a great race. Obviously, a lot of those drivers today, we've got 13 today, maybe one or two joining in qualifying, but it's going to be a great race to watch nonetheless. Let's see what these boys can do. I'm going to quickly pull up the driver standings before the entire thing goes tits up. As I say that, there's Mercedes just coming out of the pits, the only way on track. There is Franco and Iceman racing for Mercedes. Sorry, it was actually an Aston Martin. I'm completely hard. When I quickly look at Rudy Crazy Legs, the man returning for Aston Martin this time. Obviously, it was a former Sauber driver a season or two ago. So he's trotting around the pits. Fucking I'm retarded. Trotting around the track in the middle part of sector 2. So as you look at the driver standings right now, it is a Mercedes 1-2. We've got Franco and Hitch, both on 34 points. You've got Ranger and Serenity also on 34 points. There's a four-way battle already. This is going to be a great race. You've got Iceman technically in P2, but on here it's P5 with 28. Followed by Impulse, Claire T, the first of our European drivers. You've got B-Dot, Hashbrand and Samso rating at the top 10. And you've got Mark, Michael, Leaky, Shadow and Freeney rating out at the top 15. A couple of drivers in there as well. Hello Andrew, I hope you're not drunk. How are you my friend? And Shadow has crashed in qualifying. Yeah, he has died. That's great. So, we don't die for my name. That is appalling. You crash on the first, on your first lap, but I'm sure you'll do better in the race. So we got Rudy Crazy Legs on, I believe, his debut for Aston Martin. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Mark also on a Sauber. Rudy Crazy Legs the entire way down, burning as much ERS as you can. A bit low already for this part of the track. Maybe stay in the future, but medium is a decent way to save some of that fuel. Thank Andrew for that. With my ERS management, because I'm shit at it. But we actually ball coming out to the sector 2. Love with the left hand as you can. Look at the step up on the edge of the wall as well. And you got this car, you got the car for second out. This car's going to be really tricky to manage. If you break up a little bit early, you won't crack into the wall. You can just see him almost clip that inside and the outside wall. But it's pretty neat for curving on the exit. You've got a lot more battery. You can just burn it down this long sweeping left-hander here. They can pick a lot of speed and into the braking zone. I love it. A bit touch on the curve, but it doesn't unsettle the car too much onto the long. You really wouldn't call it a straight, it's pretty much a straight. But possibly will crack that inside all the way from the region into two over time. So it continues to travel inside. Burns got a little bit of left out of that. Holding more usage, less usage of this day earlier in the lap would be great, but I think the left time, what kind of bang away in the second? A 141 was not a bad lap, and that's good to see from the Aston Martin driver. We can quickly stall over to Martin, and he can drop the short line time. That is Serenity, who's also crashed. He's crashed in the castle section as well, and we can quickly look at Iceman, his car is gone, but good lord, people are crashing up and down. This is really, it's a chaotic start. The bottom line is Panda sets a 40.0 as he makes his way to one this week. We've got reserve for boys at VW and VW at Allen's track. Next race last night, I believe. That is Red City with a 39.3. And I don't want to toot it down horn, but that is, that is a brilliant run. That is a second and a half quicker than me. And I can see dropped it all the way to tier 4 this year. No season, I should say. Anyway, Iceman's in a fast off the one now, and he almost beats that KC by nearly a tenth there, puts him up into P2 in front of Mike, like 4 tenths of a second. You've got B-Dot crossing the line, and then 200 of the second behind Mark in P4. You got Hitch also for William this week, making a reserve drive with a 39.7. I'll put him around P3 good time to him. You got Ferrari on the other, you got Franco flying through. I believe this is his first flying lap. You got Randro just coming through on board with him. And get a lot better DRS management from the McLaren here. So looking for something good here as there's your third retiree from the session crashing. It is Hitch. Jeez, what's happening to those? Anyway, Rando's going to burn all the DRS. He's got he slaps it on provisional pole with a 39.0. That is more likely. If you want DRS management, that is textbook 101 right there. Good DRS management from Randro, and he puts it on the pole by 3.5 seconds. But 3 tenths of a second. So he's going to fly around Franco on his flying lap. Everyone just going to cool him down. You got Leafy on his down lap. There's a yellow flag up ahead. That is Iceman, who is low on fuel. Lovely. And I just crossed with Franco, cutting the LE shit out of the hand from the car just a little bit. He does have a little room in front of him. Just need to get out of the way almost immediately, mate, unless they're both on fire. I am not sure. No, sorry, that's not even rude. That is very awkward. Both but nonetheless, that toy helps Franco get a provisional pole of 38.5. So he's 5 tenths quicker than Randro. That is yeesh. If you're sure it's not Franco's fault, I actually driving the car. Actually, of course, Franco crashed into second 3. You got Impulse with a lap with a 40.7 as he crosses the line. And it was a little bit lazy here. As most of the drivers do things for improving their time. But you've got Randro, who's flying through now, he's going to do a pull down. And behind him, I think it's Mark behind him. No question, Panda is on a flyer. He didn't improve, yes he will, he's improved by a tenth and a bit of a second. And that will keep him in comfortably. A little bit leaky now on board of him, not yet to take time. A little bit stuck it on the curving, but will he have enough fuel to travel around this last part of the track? Bloody glaring, I might not have it, nab that off there. Good sub, and not fuel. I hope unless he takes him the line is really awkward. As leaving him firing now. He's over here, he's got burn down the straight. Doing a decent time here, maybe around 139. Fly across the line now. He's 139.3. So that's putting 3,000 of the team in front of third city. That's a big 3. So it's not a bad time for the only pass on the good for us. My bad. I'll turn it up. My bad. How's that? Okay, I'll just fuck myself. Anyway, Impulse is going in on a lovely, coming to this, coming again, all in all. If possible, I will see if I can do that on my side. How's that? Well, there, just make it 2. That's all good. Fuck, voice driving. Oh boy, Panda coming in for a lovely inlet, as is Leaky, who is low on fuel in the middle partner sector, who does have a Mercedes behind him, who isn't an outlet, so little caution maybe, give a word of warning to Mr. Leaky, because we've moved the way, but as of now, it seems like Iceman's just chilling, rolling around, not giving an absolute fuck. Just blowing up his tyres here. He's going to start his second qualifying lap soon, being qualifying. Mark is on a fly sprint. I watch him the entire way through here. Well, yeah, the only driver through the start of lap as like he's still trundling into the pit lane. You got behind him, I believe, that is Franco starting an out lap, and Iceman's going to cross the line in about 5 seconds. So he's going to start his fly, but Mark currently in P7 on the 139.8. Let's see what the man from Red Bull can do here. His teammate did crash earlier, not able to set a time. That's not starting at the back with shadows to him. So let's see what is going on. That is my bad. Is that any better? Is the game audio good as Orlando, or we just born? Anyway, sector 1, I believe it's Randro, who's absolutely conked it. That is lovely. And there's another one in sector 1, that is Cloud. Okay, that is really awkward. But Mark is almost 4 tenths up on his time here. Going to put him maybe just under Iceman. Yep, all good. I will fix that a little bit later, mate. Ow, of course. Anywho, we ball. Mark flying through, it's going to put him around the early 39s, puts him 139.3, that'll push him up to P5 ahead of Iceman actually, so that's good for the Mercedes boys. Fuck's sake, I don't know what I'm on today. Jesus Christ. Anyway, Iceman's a second up on his time. Good gracious lord, and he's getting a tow from his teammate out ahead, who's going to start an outlap soon. You're going to see the amount of speed he gets on the straight with the tow in front. He'll put him early 38s and slaps it with a 38.2, so it's a front row lockout here for both Mercedes drivers. As you can see him just warming up the tyres. Franco, I don't know what he's doing here. I'm assuming this is a quad lap, or not, or maybe it is, I don't know, I'm not him. You got B-Dot flying around now, he's almost 8 tenths up on his time. That's going to put him early 39s, maybe pushing for the 38s if he's got enough DRS. He's going to see him flying down the back straight now. It's going to put him into the early 39s, and that's going to put him at P5 ahead of Cloud City by 1,000 of a second. Good lord, the top 4th, 5th and 6th spot sorry. Provisional P4, P5, P6 are separated by 3,000ths of a second. Good lord. We ball, I guess, we ball. Rudy is on a, existing. I really did just do a lovely quality lap, because I did say he was 7 tenths ahead of his time, so he's ahead of Impulse, who's now by 2 tenths. And none of anyone else seem to cross the line yet, unless I missed someone. That's awkward. You got Franco just kind of chilling. Rudy's kind of chilling there, but they're both trundling around. Maybe this is getting ready for another tow. This time for Franco. But both seem to be chilling, unless they're both going into the pit lane. They're going to mug me off. And they're both going to the pit lane. That is lovely. Beetle is on a cooldown, unless he's going to come into the pits as well and mug me off. Behind him, you've got Rudy and Aston. I'm trundling around. I'm assuming he's also going to be on a cooldown. Or not, it would seem. Hopefully, maybe we can actually get some quality action here. Please, Rudy, if you're on a flyer. It seems he is on a flyer, so I can actually commentate people once instead of all going into the pit lane. Hey, Rudy, if you're watching this and you go into the pit lane, I will hurt you. Anyway. Commentary bias aside, Rudy's going to fly around the long, straight DRS flap open now. There we go. It was a bit delayed, but we ball. Rudy's going to fly around. Where's he going to put him in the timing sheets? A 140.093 keeps him P10, but does have a sizable gap to Impulse in P11 with 140.788. Now, the only man out on track is Leaky, who's finishing his flying lap now with a 138.7. That's putting him into provisional P3, so he's lovely, jubbly. Now, he's going to start a cool down, possibly one more lap if he's put enough fuel in. But we're on board now with this man, Cloud City, the only remaining Alpine driver who hasn't been into a wall. Sorry, Shadow. Just kind of trundling around trying to get as much I guess it'll save a bit of fuel if you can. I don't know why you do that. You just always want the least amount of fuel when you start your lap to get your car just a little bit faster. But I'm not him. I'm pretty sure there was a wall, Cloud, but you know, if he gets a puncture again, that's really awkward. He doesn't seem like he is my controller spazzing out again. Anyway, Cloud City's going to start his final qualifying lap, and we're just under that 2 minutes threshold where cars really need to start getting out of the pit lane. So Cloud's going to fly through that first corner, absolutely lovely, as he's going to try and take turn 2 even better. Doesn't clip that inside or outside wall, so that is all good there. His flap is wide open here, and we'll see what this beautiful mare can do. Coming through now to turn 3, lovely. Oh, stripes that inside wall just a little bit, but hopefully it isn't as bad as it seems. Turn 4 seems all fine and dandy. And now turn 5 is a really tricky part. You don't want to clip that inside wall, and he doesn't. And it's a little bit missing on the apex there, but all is good. He doesn't unsettle the car. Let's see if he can definitely beat a 139.3, get into maybe that top 5. As to the castle section, almost clips all 3 walls, but that is how tight that part of the track really is. Keeps it nice on the exit. And we're going to see what he can put. A couple other drivers starting their final quality laps. Randro is one of them. There's 1 or 2 maybe about to cross the line soon. I believe there's a Red Bull coming through now. That would be Mark. As Cloudy, that's like a car in front of him. That is one of the Mercedes. So that obviously it's not going to hinder Cloud City too much. He's going to come around the final couple corners. Turn my controller not have an aneurysm. Rudy is he went to the pit lane and retired, so that is him out of the session for now. And Cloud's going to cross the line. A bit of a 2/10 improvement there, but not enough to crack into the top 3, but does get into that top 5 provisionally. See where he's going to end up. Qualifying is over, so Beta and Leaky weren't able to get another lap in. As you know, so Beta actually was just about to cross the line as well, but he didn't validate his lap, and that is very awkward. Samso's not making it in, so that's unfortunate for him. Who's the quickest to the line here, I believe? And that is Randro. He's about 100th of his time. He's 100th up on his time, I should say, as he's coming towards the line here. So there's a couple of the drivers waiting for their laps. Hitch is retired. He wasn't able to improve. Actually, he crashed. That's awkward. Why am I saying that? He crashed so early. Baldwee ball. Randro flying across now. Can he crank into that top 3? It is about a 3/10 gap. There's a caution in sector 2. That seems to be Cloud just pulling off to the side. And Randro cracks into the top 3 with a 136. 138.6, I mean. So provisionally he's in a good position, but which one of the Mercedes boys are going to make it? Franco is, if my eyes don't deceive me, that is 8 up on his time, so he's going to absolutely smash his teammates' time. He's going to come across the line now, give me the first try to sit it into the 137s and sets a 137.5. Good Lord Almighty. Pandy's anchored across the line with 139.4. That's a good time for him. He beats out almost everyone who did crash. Impulses did into the pit lane. So he's going to start P11, 140.7, as a couple other drivers weren't really able to improve on their times. Beat sitting P7, Mark P6, Leaky P4, and Iceman unable to improve on his lap. Actually, he was just around 2/10, obviously not enough for his teammate. Good gracious lord, that is quick. Very, very quick. Someone stop this man. I think we need to test him for drugs. Immediately. Anyway. It's a front row lockout for qualifying. Franco and Iceman making that 1-2. Second row, you've got Randra and Leaky. Third row behind them, Cleared City and Mark and P5 and 6. And you got Beater, Panda, Hedge, Rudy, Impulse, all behind them setting times. And unfortunately, Strenzy and Shadowstorm did crash on early in qualifying, and they weren't able to set a time for today's race. So let's see what these boys can do as we take a short break. This stream is proudly sponsored by who the fuck knows what it's sponsored by? We're not sponsored. It's sponsored by Twitch. Andrew is obviously very happy for his Mercedes cuck boys to get a 1-2. We'll quickly see if I can fix the game volume on my side. yeah, we know, Andrew. Calm down. I'm retarded. I don't know how this works. How the fuck do you do the game volume? This is awkward. I've never done this in my life. Nope, it's not that. I might be stupid. I've just fucked it. Okay, Andrew, how's that? I just know the game's right. I've just leaked my IP address and everything. So please don't hack me. Good lord. I hope that's not too quiet. We're going to quickly look at the World Drivers' Championship for Tier 1. Obviously, as both the Mercedes boys are up there. Thank you, sir. That's great. So you got Mercedes up ahead with 87 points. And you got McLaren behind by 35 points, P2. You got Red Bull, followed by Ferrari, Racing Bulls, Williams. My boys in Alpine are down in P7. Then you got Haas and Aston Martin. And then you got Sauber just below them. Aston Martin and Sauber yet to score points as this is the third race of the season. But hopefully Rudy can grab the first points for Aston Martin this weekend. W ads give us money. Oh, money. Money. If you fuckers can even hear me say that. Senzak is in the chat, we love that. Everyone's vibing. Andrew's starting a hype train. And Lewis is Lewis. Anyway, you got 5 red lights now. The Mercedes in the front row here at Baku. 5 red lights and away we go. I'm pretty sure Actually, it was just that quiet. Anyway, carnage up ahead everywhere you fucking look. There's just cars flying around the gap. We're quickly lose the middle pack here. We've got on board with Panda just behind them. There's a massive train of cars. There's a lovely... thanks, Andrew. On board with Shadow here. Flying through this middle, but is there going to be contact? Yes, a little bit of contact there with the really crazy legs, but all is well. Sanzaka, shut the fuck up. You got Scarenzi losing their position out early to Shadow Storm. Up ahead, we got on board with Panda, who he's got Ranger in front of him and Cloud City behind him. So let's see what these fuckers can do. Into the castle section. Is anyone going to fuck it up? You got Franco up ahead by 1 second, and no one seems to thunder fuck it into the wall. Yeesh. Rudy almost got a bit too close there. Yeah, this is that's great, Lewis. Apparently that's great. And a lovely, it's gonna be utter Mercedes. Fuck me sideways. Anyway, we ball. Now your tyre strategies, hard, medium is the way to go. I don't know why you'd be stuck on the mediums for at 8 laps in the middle. That's a little bit awkward. Speaking of tyres and shit, we're going on the tyres. Everyone from P1 to 7 is on the mediums, throwing in Hitch and Scarenzi, P10 and P13, everyone else on the hard spin. That Hitch is just past Impulse, who is already going in the pit lane. He must have had damage early on, and that's to be really bad for the Ferrari boys. Sinzaka is going to be shitting the bed right now. Obviously, it's going to be a massive struggle. Starting on the hards, there'll be a long way to go. Obviously, if you're in that situation, you do what I do. Start on the mediums. If you fuck up early on, double hards to the end of the race, but no safety car. So Impulse are in a mad disadvantage here. I don't know where he got that wing damage from. Maybe somewhere early on, or when Scarenzi or Shadow passed him. But we ball. You see this massive clusterfuck of cars here into the castle section. Does anyone fuck it up? You'd fucking hope not. Anyway, everyone makes it nice, clean. Shadow is just clipping that inside wall. What the fuck did I say? Does he have damage? Coming around now. He doesn't look like he has damage. It's a massive skill issue on his part. Mark hits the wall. God, I fucking love it. And so coming around now to start lap 3. It's just been Mercedes early on. A Shadow getting switched back by Scarenzi. Just like real life. Love that. Love that, Andrew. Your Beetle up. Leaky's ass. This is for P3 as Franco sets the fastest lap. Yawn. Cloud City also passes Panda with DRS. Oh, what the fuck? Okay, no. That was just Beetle being tacky. I thought someone sent it on the inside, but we absolutely ball. My right stick is spazzing the fuck out. So Shadow and Rudy are fighting out the ass. My bad. Sorry, as long as they don't be racist, it's all good, I hope. So, something very tight for everyone. Yeesh, Range almost hits the back of Marky Boy, my Pookie Bear. Yeah, no, it was very close, very close. Clips out inside borders a little bit there. And the McLaren currently sitting P6 behind him. Cloud City just losing a little bit of time. And by losing, I mean he's actually gained around a 10th or 2 already on him. And you got Rudy fighting with Shadow up the back. Yeesh, walls, lads, there are walls. Does anyone make the mistake of clipping that wall? Jesus, Rudy almost clips it again. He's very, very close for the Aston Martin as he's coming sat at the back of this pack, almost losing DRS, and he just lost the hero to Shadow, who's losing it to Scarenzi, who's lost it to Hitch. There's going to be this massive battle here as Senor thanks Lewis, Senor Beetle, whoa, what the hell happened here? Okay, so Cloud City just made the move, the tacky little move on Cloud City. And Hitch has got Rancher's actually got Cloud City here with the DRS, and Hitch has also got Panda with the DRS, so they're both flying down. Thanks, Dan. Love that, but Cloud City squeaking up the outside. Is Ranger going to give him room? Yes, Cloud City does have to yield though. Very good work from these boys. Scarenzi getting past Panda. That man is going to be a redemption arc like Max Verstappen in Brazil last season and this coming race as well. Cloud City just zooms past that McLaren says, thank you very much, I'll take P6 away as Ranger clips that inside wall and doesn't get any damage. It's very surprising. It's very surprising he didn't get damage like that. Yeah, so Christ. And we're going with Panda as my controller continues to spaz on the right stick. Your Shadowstorm just behind him, 1.2 seconds. Scarenzi in front. My controller is dying. Fuck's sake, stop spazzing, dude. I'm not even touching it. Pause. No one seems to fuck up the castle section, which is good. And just as I said that, I'm pretty sure Rudy's hit the wall again. 50 cents paid to Kazu because someone said that's not what we like to see. Make that $1. And if someone could get me a new controller for Christmas, that'd be great. Thanks, Dan. Fuck off. Coined a term. Love that. Love that. Anyway, DRS in tow. Mr. Beetle is well up Iceman's ass. Pause. As this massive train of clusterfucking cars just seems to get longer and longer and longer. No one really seems to make a move on anyone. Beetle's a little bit too far from the cars in front. Mark is just catching up to Senor Leaky as Shadowstorm gets past Panda for P10. Now, who's going to be brave enough to make a move? Everyone from Mark to Scarenzi has DRS. There's not really going to be any overtakes here. Thanks, all $5 you already fucking got from me. That's great. That's great. Oi! Man, I love it here, right? I love it here in Australia. You can't take me out of it. Unless you Americanify me, which is awkward. Ranger just drops down 2 positions. He gets past hit by Hitch and Scarenzi maybe a bit of a slip up! And you can just see Ranger slipping up. Dan wants some funds too. No. Then we're going to be on board with Shadowstorm, who's got Randro, a company, in front of him. Zooming down that long left-hander. You don't want to be making a move into the braking zone, which is why Shadow had to yield just a little bit more. As we're going to be on board now, still the Alpine, lap 6, almost starting as Franco. He's exceeding that gap. 2.1 seconds down with teammates. It's going to be a very bad race. Fucking shit. When the ball, the other Alpine of Cloud City's got Mark up ahead, DRS in tow, and just says sayonara, motherfucker, to that Red Bull. We'll be on board now with Shadow. Shadow does get past Brandon, so both Alpines making a move on the main straight. As up ahead you can see Scarenzi fighting with Hitch as Panda drops down a couple positions due to pitting really early. Does he have wing damage though? As the team going to come in and take a look at that. It would seem he does not, so he's just pitting on, I believe, a fresh and hards. As Scarenzi and Hitch are still fighting here for P7, and Mark will get it done in the DRS zone. Let's see what we're going to do. We're going to move Cloud City a little bit. Leaky is up ahead, slowly losing time depending on what part of the track you're on. Just kind of lovely flying through here. It feels so weird not to hear all the cars zooming in my ears at 40,000 decibels an hour. That is a real unit of measurement. I made it up. Love that. No one clips that wall, which is lovely. Everyone is fine and dandy. Your B-Dot just squeaking up to Iceman. So Iceman must have had something going on. He's also had a second this lap. So it's going to be for B-Dot's advantage here. As Iceman seems to be struggling on his medium tyres already a little bit. So B-Dot's going to be in a prime position to overtake for P2, as you do see Iceman go off track and lose that position now to B-Dot. And my controller continues to spaz, but there is an overtake for P2, and B-Dot now has a sight set on the ever-disappearing Franco, as Iceman might even get him back here on the main straight. He does, with that DRS down the main straight, and that's going to put B-Dot in a really tricky situation. Does he make a move? No, he doesn't, into the braking zone. Serenzi and Mark do trade places, as does Shadowstorm and Hitch. Lovely bit of a move there, as Rancho is also going to come into the pit lane. I'm assuming to pit off those medium tyres. We'll look at the tyres again. Actually, we'll look at the position changes. B-Dot moving up 4 positions, Scorenzi moving up 6, and Shadowstorm moving up 5. Then you got Rancho moving down 8. What the fuck's the ISU, but we ball. You got Rancho moving down 8, because he's pit. Panda and Impulse also pit. You got Mark Lax and Iceman also losing a position because Frenzy just passed Mark, and Iceman's just been passed by B-Dot. So look at the tyres really quick, 6 laps. Yeah, are you sure? I might be sponsored. Wee bit of a tricky there from Shadow, almost ran into the back of Mark. As we look at the tyres, 6 laps on everyone. Cloud City does get past Leaky. So that's good for the Alpine boys, as he's now got his sight set on Iceman. Those mediums are going to be shot in the ass soon. So those hards are going to be working their magic in about a lap or 2 here. Yes, the guys in the international system units love that. Can you put under it that I made the ruling on that? That'd be great. Anyway, Cloud City going to have DRS now. Is for a podium position here. Caution sector 2, that is Impulse cracking it into the wall near the castle section. As Cloud City does get past Iceman, as him and Leaky are going to pit. Scrunzy's going to move up to P4. Shadow moves up to P5 with Hitch of P6. Mark is also going to dive into the pit, as well as what the Jesus was that? So I'm assuming Cloud's locked up into turn 2, and that's made him lose a couple positions. Shadowstorm moves up to P4, Hitch P5, and Strange is going to take Cloud's spot in P3. That is very awkward for the Alpine driver, as he doesn't seem to have damage. So maybe it was just a bit of a lock-up for Cloud, but he's still a decent position to be in P6. And as all the drivers are pretty much just going to trundle around. I'm going to quickly turn up my volume if I can remember how to do that again. Because I'm not used to cars going nil. Let's see how that works. Seems to be... Alright, so never mind, there it is. We absolutely bore. I hope that's not too loud. I just wanted to hear cars. Nil, maybe autistic. Anyway, we bore. There's a lot of gaps now forming. So Ranger is the closest man on track with Panda right up in front of him. No worries for the 10 cents, mate. Your Cloud City catching up to Hitch, who's going to come into the DRS zone pretty soon. And Ranger has got Panda in front of him. Alpine Bottle, shut the fuck up, mate. Here we go. What can Cloud do? Are they both going to go into the pit lane? Rudy's retired. Okay, that is a DNF. Big. Whoa, shit. Jesus. Okay. I don't know how that's not a safety car. How is that not a safety car? I'm calling cap. Everything. It is a safety car. Okay, I'm retarded. Good lord. Danny's having a space on the chart. He's only driver. Not going to get points. Let's see who's pit. Not so the top 3 haven't pitted yet. Everyone else behind him has. So Frank is going to queue up soon to the front of the safety car. Is the drive okay? I don't think he is. I think he's dead. We got Ranger. Pretty much everyone is pit. I'm damn it. He's losing his mind now. pretty sure I did serve a safety car, you muppet. We ball. As I now get a chance to kick back and stop standing up for 40,000 and fucking up my already fucked up spine. Oh, love that. Love that. So, whilst we wait, while the safety car to fucking throw himself around, we're going to be keeping on board with Franco. He's just lovely throwing his car around. So, as per usual, and the impulse is going to finally get to that back of the pack. He has not been lapped yet, which is very fortunate for him. I was having to pit really early on. He's not dead, Andrew, he's not dead. I was joking. I'm joking. What kind of tyres did he have on? He got 2 laps on hard, so he did pit again. As Shadow, Beater, and Franco, I still yet to pit. Seeing that Franco is coming into the pits. Thanks Andrew, thanks for that. So top 3 are going to pit now. That was going to put Iceman into P1. And just coming around, he does make up a couple of positions. But Iceman's actually into P2, his teammate up ahead, so it's a good overcut for Franco. Put him onto a nice fresh tyres. Well, let's see what they've got on. So the top, so Franco, Beater, and Shadow have all chosen. Well, it seems they've all chosen the hards. Storm's, Mr. Shadow Storm has actually gone for the medium compound tyres. There's Panda's pit again. Has he got wing damage? Or did he get wing damage or something? I don't know. It's really odd. But we ball. Dan, I'm pretty sure there's Aramco boards around the track that show how to spell Pirelli. I'm pretty sure this is also sponsored by Globin and Liquid Moly here in Azerbaijan. We ball though. There's just so many sponsors, holy shit. But yeah, I will point out the Pirelli tyre boards somewhere if we can find them. Even the runoff areas are sponsored, that's very odd. But we ball. God damn it. God damn it, Daniel and Beater. Beater, Dr. B, fuck, I'm stupid. There doesn't seem to be any Pirelli boards for Dan's sake. Unless there's some on the main straight here. And it's a run away. I can see up ahead Franco warming up his tyres. Dr. B is alive. Shit. Oh, we ball. We absolutely ball. Guitar Hero is flying around. There isn't any Pirelli boards whatsoever. So Dan, unfortunately for you, fuck off. Ah, Dan, as I was saying it, there's how you spell Pirelli, you incompetent little flamingo-y bastard. Andrew's waiting for his ferry. Well, I'm going to spaz everyone through the drivers. Why not? Let's get on board with Franco. Mason, I don't know what you're talking about. Your drivers haven't scored a point either in C1, so shut up. Dan, you spelt it wrong again. Good lord. Yeah, that driver DNF, lol. Mason, why didn't you turn up this week, mate? You could have driven for tier 1. You could have driven for tier 1, you silly little cunt. As Rudy eventually leaves the session, we're about... Stop, Lewis. Speaking of that, Lewis, no one's on 6 or 7 lap old hards. So, baller. So when is this episode going? Probably next lap. Next week. Alright, well, everyone get ready for another safety car next week. I believe it's Austria. Everyone also should get ready for tier 4, because apparently I've been told I'm not going to survive tier 4 next week. I don't know if that was a threat or a joke. I'm taking it as both here, so if I do get yeeted, so that's going to be fun. Sauber is in fact dead last, because none of their drivers have turned up for any race, I believe. So, as we wait for the Impulse to just trundle back. Dan, you better let me buy next week, you the silly little spastic. Oh. Andrew, you were talking about Twitch affiliate, me swear. I don't think we're going to have that in the chat either. Dan, don't put me into the wall, please. That'd be great. Well, see, alright, so nice. I'm gonna put you in the wall. Mason, I know you said that earlier. You're getting a league ban. Chat doesn't matter just what about the person streaming says. Who the fuck is that guy? Thank Christ. I love Brick. Can Brick join us, please? Can we still brick from you, Mason? I'll give you a baguette. A really nice baguette, but that's for later. Anyway, safety car is in this lap. Fuck off. Thanks, Dan. Thanks, Dan. Maybe get your Sauber boys to not cut me in. No, I'm kidding. Anyway, when is Franco gonna fucking fly? Here we go. I just said my Twitch account here. Stop swearing, good lord. Everyone warming up their tyres. When is Franco gonna absolutely bloody send it? Just warming up, waiting for the right time to go. Iceman's doing the Kimi Raikkonen. Want to be on board with him. I control my spaz. And Franco has absolutely bloody sent it now. So, who's been caught out? No one's really been caught out. Everyone sent it. Simply lovely. As Shadowstorm gets past Scarenzi. Scarenzi went a little bit wide off of turn 1. And that's going to put him up into P4. Your Impulse fighting with Panda. Leaky almost tried to make a move down with Cloud City. No move there. DRS in tow for absolutely everyone. Almost. Actually, no, it's late. That's next lap. Very awkward, as you can see. There's still a caution running sector 3, so the game is having a bug. Sorry. We ball. We absolutely ball. So, we're going to ball with, we'll go with Leaky. I haven't seen too much of him in this race on board. You got Cloud City in front of him, and you got Randro just about a second behind. So, let's see what these little shits can do up in the midfield. No one hitting walls, that's good. Taking it nice and clean. A bit of a slip up there from Leaky, but all good. It does leave him a tenth or two to Cloud, who's got Hitch in front of him. Yes, I'm surprised as well. I could do that, Senor Andrew, but I do like the close-up as well. I don't really... There are some good shots in broadcast, don't get me wrong, but I do also like the when you go bang, and it's right up close, and you can see Leakey just up ahead now. He's going to catch up to Cloud City, use that slipstream from the Alpine. DRS is enabled here, but it's not going to be enabled until that second DRS zone. Is Leakey going to make a move? He's alongside here. He's going to try and force that Alpine as wide as he can, and that is brilliant from both drivers. They're going to come up now to turn 2, and Leakey's going to take that position, fighting Dandy there. As I believe Cloud does have DRS now, and he just zoom past that car. So it's brilliant driving from Cloud and Leakey. Even into this one as well, it's brilliant to see the Sultanship on point here. We're going to be now with last season's Drivers' Champion Scarenzi 2 seasons in a row for the man in the Red Bull. Obviously last season having a fight with Raven West in V-Carb, who unfortunately isn't able to make this season. But you just like Scarenzi, who definitely has a point to prove this season. Try to make it a 3P like Max Verstappen, but we ball. You see Panda getting past Impulse for P11 and 12, just down here real quick. Panda does go a little bit wide, almost clips the ball, but nonetheless makes the move stick. He's going to be able to go now. Always into the DRS zone here. Iceman is significantly behind his teammate. I've just spaz everywhere, Jesus Christ. And Shadow Song is going to be in prime position to actually knock this man off his porch. DRS in tow. Can Shadow get a move done on the Mercedes into the braking zone? He's going to have to yield. He's going to try and move here. That's very late, but it makes it stick. Good gracious me. Shadowstorm with a brilliant move. Keeps it nice and clean from Iceman as Leakey gets past Clear City, and Panda does get past Impulse. As Iceman does take that position back with DRS, and Claire does take it back also with DRS. Going to try and move again. Ooh, very close between Shadow and Iceman, as you can just see from that left-hand side. Beater is catching up with Scarenzi in tow. Ranger gets past Leakey. Them two are fighting for days here. As my controller keeps sazzing out, I'm going to turn it off really quickly. That is incredible. Gee, okay, it seems like it's a bit of a... I think that's damage on that left-hand side from Shadow. His end plate is off, losing the position to Beater. No one fucking into the wall. That is good. I'm going to keep on board now with Scarenzi, who's behind the Alpine. And let's see what the two-time World Drivers' Champion can do here in IRL. If you bet your money on someone, I did say yesterday, if you bet your money on someone, it would be Scarenzi to do it. I did say that yesterday, and that person I bet on did in fact crash, so I hope it's not all the same here today. As Beatles can actually have a run down now on Iceman, but we'll quickly be on board with Scarenzi, who's close enough to Shadow. DRS in tow, and there is Shadow dropping down to P5. Just kind of letting Scarenzi do. He really had no fight there, but Hitch now gets past Shadow. There's a big dive from Shadow, who may have been a force Hitch wide there, but hard racing is allowed here, just not too much of a cunt. DRS in tow. Both drivers have it in front, but Hitch, yeesh, Shadow moves a little bit early there. Dives down that inside line, and they keep it nice and tidy clean into turn 3. Now turn 4 is really tricky. Oh, slip up there from Hitch, maybe contact from Shadow as well. But Shadow does get the position, and Cloud is right up. Hitch is behind. So a little bit of an Alpine sandwich here. Coming up, B5, 6 and 7. Shut up, Lewis. We're going to be on board now with Clear City as Mark and Leakey scrap out for P8 and P9. That's a wall, Cloud. That's lovely. And just see Hitch going past. Oh, that's a very tidy move from Hitch there to get past Shadow. That's very nice, very clean move from the Williams driver. Lewis, shut up, I saw that 6-7. Anyway, Beetle, we're going to be on board with him now. Beetle is flying through. Rudy shows his support for Mr. Shadow. Currently in P6 with teammate behind in P7. Going to be a decent points finish for the Alpine boys. But Beetle is flying through as Iceman's going to go into the pit lane now. I believe. No, he's actually stuck behind him. I've just had an absolute bloody full play and blown aneurysm. Hitch and Shadow are fighting again. Good gracious, this is a great battle. And he says for P5 still. Now, apparently it was Dan. That's great. Love that. Eastern's going to make a move on Iceman. Those tyres on the Mercedes are wearing. Thanks, Lewis, for that. That's great. Shadow has lost a bit of time to Hitch. Maybe a bit of that damage as well on that left-hand side of the end plate. Dan, shut up. There's going to be on board now with Serenity, who in front. He did right off the rip. He got absolutely touched up. Actually, he just had wing damage, I believe. And he had to pit really early on, so he hasn't really found time to catch up to the back of the pack. But he's on hard tyres, so those hards are going to be a lot better than the medium boys. Speaking of the medium boys, I've just stopped all the UI. That's great. The only two people out on mediums are both Alpine, so they'll have to pit again. Maybe another set of mediums. So let's see what those little shits can do. Want to be aboard with Lorenzi here, who's got Iceman. Those hards are struggling, despite them being roughly the same amount of laps. As Beto is slowly clawing his way to Franco, as I said that he is losing a lot of time to that man. Scarenzi now, for a podium position, is going to zoom past Iceman and take P3 there. Good move for the Red Bull boys. As Leaky is going to now try and move on Shadow, dives down the outside, and makes it sick. Mark and Cloud's are, oh! No words. Oh, there's no safety car, Andrew or Lewis, because that was in the pit lane. That's really awkward. I'm going to stop my control of spazzing. Cloud has a DNF in the pit lane, cracking into the wall after following his teammate in. I'm not sure what the hell happened. Lewis, shut up. Anyway. What did I do, Andrew? Mason, I don't think that's allowed. Mason's very racist, so... anyway. Aneurysm aside, good gracious. We've got Randro gonna make a move. Sorry, Randro's actually gonna not make a move. Pandy's gonna make a move. Touches the back of Mark a little bit. Maybe because he was in the pit lane, Lewis. We're gonna... Fair. Weak. No, absolutely not. Mark will get very angry. So on board with Panda, now the closest driver on Tracker Pop and Randro is a little battle here for P7. No one's still clipping that inside wall of the castle section, no one's doing a Charles Leclerc. As we're on lap 19, about to start lap 20 as soon as Franco crosses the line here. Serenzi is catching up to Beetle for P2. It's only a nifty little thing. Shadow, he had to pit off his mediums. So obviously the tyres on the mediums a little bit worse for wear than he hoped, so he went into the pit lane, pitted off. Mediums are bursting on for hards. Speaking of hards, Terenzi and Beetle are both on the hards here. And this is a battle we've seen one too many times before in IRL, especially Tier 1 last season. Wrong driver, sir. Yes, we can check pit stops, we'll quickly do that. As we're still on board with Serenzi, we've got one stop for absolutely everyone. You got Impulse 4 stops, and Panda, Randro, and Shadowstorm making the 2-stopper, and making an attempt for the 2-stopper to work. Here, as Shadow is about 16 seconds up the road from Randro, and 3 seconds in front of Impulse. And quickly leaves Serenzi for a second. We'll be on board now with Randro, with Panda in front of him, and Mark. This battle's still going on for P7. As lap 20 is just about done and dusted, as Frank is in cross line about 5 seconds. And I do like bananas, but I'm not a monkey, Dan. We ball though. As you can see Panda closing up to Randro here. Shadow is gaining quite a big amount of time as there is Randro clipping that outside wall. I'm almost certain there's damage. How there isn't damage on that McLaren is baffling me. We're actually balling though. Serenzi is able to make a move on the Beetle. And now we have this battle here for P7. I'll be on board with Panda. We've got Mark up ahead. 4 tenths, almost 3. Making it now. Just up that Red Bull's arse. Is he going to send the move into turn 1? He's going to try it, but no, has to yield. Senor Panda, he knows that second DRS straight though is going to be vital to get past Mark, as he's going to save all the ERS he can. And Panda's clipped that inside wall just a little bit, burning all the ERS he's got with the DRS in tow, and Panda makes it up to P7. Good move under the DRS for the V-Carb, just nice and simple. And the only V-Carb out of track moves up to P7. Marcus to settle for P8 whilst his teammate fights for a podium. And that's not meaning to bash Mark in any way. We love him. I love him. Yes, we ball. Okay, stay on board with Randro. Frankie's losing a little bit of time to beat on. 3.4 seconds, slowly going down. And quickly with stops here. They're on similar amount of tyres. We all love Mark, don't we, Danny? Time gap is slowly closing down. Beat-Ot to Franco. This could be a fight of the ages if Beat-Ot can get a move on. But for now, we're going to stick on board with Mark. He's got Panda in front of him, Randro behind him, and Shadow is rapidly gaining. Shadow's rapidly gaining on the cars behind. We're looking more at Randro if he's going to have more of a chance to pass Mark here as Hitch gets past Iceman, who's just seemingly struggling after the safety car. Could be a double chance for an overtake. Mark does get past. Whoa! Shit! Wall. There's a wall there, ladies. You could argue Mark did squeeze Panda a little bit there, but I'm sure there wasn't no damage. Yes, it's still on. It's a video glitch, Dr. B. I don't know what the fuck is happening, mate. Oh, now it's gone. Just as I was saying that, it's gone. Holy fucking shit. Shadows kicking ass. Caution sector 2. B-Dot is dead. Is that into the safety? That is another safety car. As, if we can look at it, yes, he cracks it into the castle section. So, that's going to really put everyone in a massive tyre shit show. Do you squeak it? I'm guessing everyone's going to squeak it down the halves for his last couple of laps here, but we have a battle on our hands. Serenzi's moved up to P2. There is an absolute clusterfuck of cars everywhere. Everyone's slowing down. Are people going to risk it for the softs? You have to. I risk nothing. You'd have to pit on the softs here. You'd 100% have to. You can see Franco going into the pit lane. He's going to go on the softs. And I'm pretty sure everyone is going to follow him out. Actually, no. So actually, yes. Everyone would definitely risk softs. 100%. It depends. But it depends also how many laps the safety car is going to fly around for. As everyone's going to go in. Surely someone risks it and stays out. Please. Shadow. Please. Actually, you can't really do it with Shadow. Someone please stay out and do it for the memes. Please. I'm begging. Oh! Panda's listened! Panda's staying out. But Franco is up ahead. Surely everyone else would come into the pit lane. Yep, there's Shadow going to the pits. Panda stayed out on his hards. 13 lap odd hards. He's listened. Franco has got on the medium tyres, so has Hitch, Iceman as well. Yeah, Impulse is staying on his 5 lap old mediums. This is going to be a great race. I was pretty much expecting Panda to shoot out in front, but obviously with the distance between everyone, he's shot out in P3 instead, and Hitch and everyone else are going to have a field day with him, unless he defends really well, because DRS is obviously not going to be enabled soon. Everyone will have to bunch up, and we're going to be looking at about maybe lap 25 here for when the safety cars are pretty sure going to come in. Last lap DRS shootout. Franco on the mediums actually put Sorensen in a really good position on the soft compound tyres. As I'm going to quickly look at the tyres again. You got Leaky, Mark, Randra and Shadow all on the softs as well. So once this field bunches up, Iceman and Impulse are going to be a big shit show. But not as a big of a shit show as Panda, who's seemingly given into the voices. 13 lap old hards for Senior Panda. Good growth, Andrew. Oh, I'm going to move shit out of the way off my couch. As safety cars are going to fly around. Maybe it could come in next lap if everyone bunches up really quickly. 2 laps instead of a nice little shootout. A nice 2-lap shootout. Obviously, lap 25, the DRS won't be in play. And I think I might have called this absolutely perfect as the cars are going to come around now. So lap 24. Sorry, it's still 23. Nope, it is 24. I'm stupid. I think I caught it with the lap 25. It has to come in next lap no matter what. Fair enough. I might just be stupid. I am stupid. Do you know if this game could end on the safety car? Because I know it happens in real life. Okay, no I can't. Alright, that's fair. Hello Kazu. How are you, sunshine? Can't be safe, got 3 laps for the end of the race. Okay. Kazu's returned. If you lads don't know Kazu, well now you do. He is a goat. He's probably... Yeah, as you don't know, Kazu won the first ever IRL World Drive Champion all the way back in Season 1. And then he brought along this little shit called GoldenSniper in Season 2, and he joined in fighting for Williams, and pretty much taking one of the other drivers' seats who, I believe, at a race ban, which is funny. as that is 100% what you love to see. Kazu joining in, making everyone a bit happy. I'm assuming Kazu is on his break at work, but we ball. As Safety is going to trundle in now, coming in this lap. Absolutely lovely battles out here, mate. Lovely. I wish you were in the com box. It'd be great seeing you back in with all the lads. Safety cars are coming in this lap. Again, a quick look at the time. Thanks, Andrew. That was great. Yep. First ever race here, if you don't know, I first raced in Baku. Yep, first race in Baku, AI for 90% because I couldn't join back. That was very awkward. Here we go. When is Franco going to launch it? And when is Sorenzi going to have his opportunity to feast on that Mercedes with 2 laps to go here? It is either driver's game. You've got Panda behind on the worn hards. You've got Sorenzi in front with the fresh softs. And Franco's absolutely launched it there and then. Hitch seemingly getting an absolutely beautiful start and not having to overtake Panda. He does overtake Panda into the first zone. A little bit of touch there from Leaky as Leaky's going to drop down. Shadow's going to get past Frandro. It's clusterfucks everywhere as they're coming in to turn to the second DRS zone. No DRS in play yet. Iceman gets past Panda. Panda is dropping like a stone. What the fuck happened there? Sorenzi seemingly ghosted a little bit. But he's lost a little bit of time out now to Franco. As you do wonder, when is that Red Bull going to kick in and absolutely just throw cock out the window? Leaky squeezing there with Hitch for P3. A bit of contact there from Leaky as they're going to dive down into the castle section. Contact yet again between both drivers. And yet nothing to boot there. Leaky fighting there, he's contact into the wall, and Leaky drops down to P6. Panda now fighting him, contact everywhere. There's a massive train, and I'm pretty sure that's wing damage on Leaky, as Leaky is going to retire on track. Caution sector 2. So no safety car's going to be in play, but that car, that's a big no-no from Leaky there. Retiring on track. That is not what you like to see, but it's a 4-wide battle here as Impulse is squeaking up the inside of Red Panda as he's going to lose the position here to Panda. Shadow's going to move on to P5 here. This is going to be a great fucking battle. Holy shit. DRS is being in play now if my controller stop having a spaz. So we've got everyone fighting. Mark shot down to P9 with Ranger overhead. But this is a battle everyone wants to see here if my controller can stop dying. 3-lap old softs for Sorenzi. 3-lap old mediums for Franco. But there's no DRS in play for Sorenzi. So that means you'll have to try and fight all his way. Get the softs as Warner again push that car to ever-loving shit as Mark gets past Randro. And Panda, the gamble has failed to keep out on those hard compound tyres. Randro and Mark fighting a brilliant battle. This is definitely going to go to Franco Kazu, unfortunately. But Shadow's in a good position for P5 now. He's going to in a no man's land. Randro and Mark fighting tooth and nail for P7. You've got Panda behind him, seemingly a bit of a sitting duck with those 16 lap old hards. We're into the middle part of sector 2. No one's cunked it into any corner. Iceman's got Hitch up ahead. Massive wing damage from Mark. I am, you silly nonce. You can see Iceman slowly catching up to Hitch. But we look back to the front of the pack. It's been a domination from start to finish from Mercedes, and one driver drops out of the podium position, but it's been Franco all the race, all alone, takes home the win here in Azerbaijan. Sorenzi had a brilliant fight. We'll have to settle for P2, and the battle between Hitch and Iceman rules. Hitch on the podium, Iceman in P4. Shadowstorm brings home a valiant effort for Alpine in P5. Impulse bringing it home with a great recovery drive for P6, Randro P7, P8 goes to Mark, and P9 Panda, after a very valiant gamble to stay on the hard compounder tyres at the end. And there's the podium celebrations. Delight for Andrew and Astan for Mercedes as they take the win here in Azerbaijan. Driver of the day, Shadowstorm, surprisingly. Brilliant effort for him to bring him home P5 most overtakes Renzi. Fast lap also goes to Franco. And there is your session done and dusted. No penalties, actually. Surprisingly, very clean for Tier 1. But there might be one or two in the stewards later. Obviously, 4 DNFs. You had Rudy, Cloud, Vito, and Leaky at the end there. And there is Tier 1 done and dusted. I've been your commentator, GoldenSniper, and I surprisingly didn't hour for myself too much today. I thank you all for watching, and please make sure to watch Tier 3 on Tuesday night. Toodaloo, motherfuckers.